Hello and welcome back to the channel. Yes, you've seen this correctly. They are working on computer brain implants. Computer brain implants. Now, of course, they have a medical reason for it, but I still think that this is something that could quite possibly negatively affect mankind in the future. Right now, they're trying to do computer-controlled brain implants that enhance mental function in human trials. And so, of course, they're going to give you a number of different reasons why they believe that this is going to be something that is helpful. But with all of the talk of other things, of course, the rise of AI and how much AI could possibly control our lives, this right here is starting to sound very sci-fi and very much like they are looking for human cyborgs, humans that can be controlled by outside mechanisms. It seems like it's all coming together. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and let you all listen to this audio article, and I will be right back.
A landmark pilot study has demonstrated how a brain implant can deliver targeted bursts of electrical stimulation to improve cognitive functions. In real time, the implant senses electrical biomarkers of cognitive deficits and responds by stimulating specific brain regions. The new study, published in the journal Nature Biomedical Engineering, is the culmination of years of work homing on the parts of the brain responsible for cognitive control. Impairments to cognitive control can be found in a number of mental health disorders, from depression to obsessive control disorder, OCD. These cognitive control deficits manifest in inflexible thought processes. Alec Widge, from the University of Minnesota Medical School, says the inability to easily shift from one thought process to another is a key feature of many mental illnesses. An example might include a person with depression who just can't get out of a stuck negative thought, says Widge. Because it is so central to mental illness, finding a way to improve it could be a powerful new way to treat those illnesses. A 2019 study from Widge and colleagues found electrically stimulating the ventral internal capsule/ventral striatum, VCVS, areas of the brain could enhance cognitive control. The earlier work not only demonstrated deep brain stimulation of VCVS regions improved cognitive control when participants were tasked with a cognitive control test, but it identified specific neural biomarkers that corresponded with clinical improvements. From those earlier findings, the researchers developed an algorithm that can detect, in real time, when the brain is struggling with cognitive control tasks. When lapses in cognitive control are detected, the system delivers short bursts of electrical stimulation to VCVS regions, rapidly enhancing cognitive control performance. This system can read brain activity, decode from that when a patient is having difficulty, and apply a small burst of electrical stimulation to the brain to boost them past the difficulty, explains Widge. The analogy I often use is an electric bike. When someone's pedaling but having difficulty, the bike senses it and augments it. We've made the equivalent of that for human mental function. The pilot study testing this experimental system recruited 12 subjects undergoing brain surgery for epilepsy. A few of the patients in the study did report the stimulation relieving symptoms of anxiety, but Widge is clear in noting this research can only focus on enhancing cognitive control and further work is needed before clinical trials can begin testing this kind of invasive brain implant on subjects with severe anxiety disorders. There's a lot still to do, and this is very clearly not a treatment for every case of depression/anxiety/OCD/anything else, but we think this is a pretty big step forward towards mechanism-driven DBS, deep brain stimulation, Widge asserts on Twitter. This wasn't a clinical trial, but a few of the patients had significant anxiety, and boosting cognitive control allowed them to focus away from that anxious inner monologue. The new research is some of the first to demonstrate a brain implant can sense signs of a cognitive deficit in real time and respond with targeted stimulation to restore normal neural activity. This kind of implant is known as a closed-loop system. It is similar to the way some cardiac pacemakers maintain optimal heart rates by stimulating the heart in response to sensing irregular activity. These kinds of closed-loop brain stimulation implants have been used in the past to detect and treat epileptic seizures, but the challenge researchers have faced in developing similar systems for mental illness is the lack of explicit neural biomarkers responsible for deeply multifaceted conditions such as depression or anxiety. This new research indicates cognitive control deficits are common across many mental disorders. These deficits are easily measurable using cognitive control tests, and there are clear electrophysiologic signatures that correspond with these deficits. Widge and his team ambitiously speculate this kind of treatment could be useful for a variety of psychiatric diseases. The same framework could also be applied to other cognitive or emotional problems, for example, monitoring and enhancement of learning or emotion dysregulation, the researchers conclude in the new study. Although substantial technology gaps remain before these results can be directly applied in the clinic, and the evidence base needs to be built for cognition as a primary focus of treatment, our results could be the basis of a highly specific approach for intervention in human neuropsychiatric disease.
So as you can see, they are working on computer-controlled brain implants that are meant to enhance mental functions in human trials. So I can't wait to see how many people actually line up for this. Usually when they present something to the world as some type of innovative technology that's meant to help, it usually does help in the beginning, but what happens afterward is that thing that you thought was meant to help becomes something that is used to control mankind. And one thing that I think of right away are drones. So when I think of drones, a lot of people, of course, they had them in the military, right? But then they have the smaller versions where people are just out here having fun. They're doing camera shots, they're doing video shots, and so they're having a good time with drones. But those drones have a more diabolical use as well. So I can see something like a computer-controlled brain implant enhancing mental function. I can see something like that being used to control people. Because anything that's controlled by a computer that can be used to control a person's body, this is just the beginning of it. This is why they're calling it human trials, right? So at some point, they will be able to control more than just that. They've been working on this stuff for a long time. They always kind of give you a heads up, so to speak, in movies. This is what we're planning on doing right now. It's in Hollywood, but it's coming to a community near you. Anyway, I want to know what your thoughts are on this computer-controlled brain implant. Is this something that you think is a good idea? Yes or no? Of course, you have technology people who are just so in love with all of the advances in the world that they don't see anything wrong with any of this, and they're going to say, oh, what are you so afraid of? This is wonderful news. Get with the ages, get with the program. Things are changing, times are changing. You'll always have those, but then you'll always have those of us who are skeptical as well, because we know what people are up to. People of all races and cultures, okay? Not just so-called black people, but people of all races and cultures. Look at this stuff for what it is, right? Anyway, I'm done with this video. In the comment section below, be sure to share your thoughts. Remember to keep it tight and keep it right. Until next time. We hope you liked today's topic. Please leave your comments below. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, share it like this video, and with that, we're out. Be sure to ring the bell to be notified of new uploads on this channel, and also comment, share, like, and subscribe.